I'm planting my spinach out today. I've already put a few of these spinach in this bed and I'm just going to finish it off. These are a baby leaf spinach which I've never grown before, called Rubino, and they're an F1, and they produce these lovely little baby leaves with sort of red veinage on them. So they look really nice and they taste nice as well. So I'll start my spinach in my module trays, and for these I have a little push out plate which you're supposed to be able to put the tray on and push all the plugs up. I can also use that, you turn it around and you put it on the top once you've filled the tray with compost, and you gently sort of push it in to whatever depth you want the holes to be, and it will make perfect holes in the middle of every cell. So that's sort of really quite a handy thing. So with these I trying to sow one seed per cell, but if a couple fall in I really don't mind, it doesn't matter. So sowed them a few weeks back, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I probably should have planted them out by now. I've left it a little bit long, and the leaves on some of them are starting to just yellow slightly, but there's nice fresh leaves coming back in the centre, so I'm going to get them out now. I'm going to finish this bed off to a whole bed of these baby leaf spinach, and then I've got some perpetual spinach here, which for the first time I had mouse damage on. I've never had the mice touch my spinach seeds before, but both of these trays, I did one a couple of weeks before the other, but they were both sat on the back of the shelf, and I came in one morning and the mice had just hooked all the seeds out of the back. So I've lost quite a few of the seeds, and a few I push back in and they come on a bit behind, but they're all ready to go out. I've got enough for the 2 beds, so they're going to go out in these 2 beds here. So I'll just pop these out nice and simply. I've already made the holes with my long-handled dibber, so they're really ready to go in now. I really probably should have done them a week or so ago. So I'm just going to fill up the rest of this bed. I've got more than I need, so I will probably, because I'm running out of space a bit, I'm probably going to just leave the rest, or possibly just feed them to the chickens, because I don't need any more really than 3 beds of spinach. It comes back pretty quick when you pick it, so I get inundated. But I usually only do 1 bed of the perpetual spinach. I'm going to do 2 this year because I want to try and feed some to the chickens, try and save on the cost of chicken feed a little bit this year. So that's the plan with that. So I'll just give them a good water, and then I'll net them over to stop the pigeons, and then I'm just going to get the beds ready for the perpetual spinach. What I do is I give the beds a bit of just a gentle rake over to get them level, or as level as possible, and put a couple of cans of water on them, just so that when I dib the holes hold their shape a little bit better with moist compost. So I'll get the beds ready, and then we'll pop the perpetual spinach in. So with the baby spinach, I've spaced them at sort of 5 to 6 inches apart, because I'm going to continually pick the baby leaves. So it's like a mat of little baby spinach plants, nice and tight together, and you harvest them really regularly. With perpetual spinach, I let it get to a much larger plant and harvest the bigger leaves. So I use my dibber, same as I did, but I put about 1 plant every foot. So really in this bed, I can probably squeeze 4 plants across, I should imagine. Let's just have a look. I can't remember what I did last year, but I think, I'll get about 4. So basically I'm just doing by eye. There we go. That's about a foot, maybe just over a foot. These beds are about 4 foot, so yeah, it's about a foot. And the same this way. So I will just go down both beds and dib all the holes, and then I'll come back along and just pop all the seedlings in. 44, 48. So that's about 48 plants per bed. So I'm just going to use all the better plants, the ones that have come on a bit better, and just pop them out and pop one sal per hole. So that's all the little holes filled, and I've got a few spares in each tray of the smaller ones, just in case any of these don't come. I just need to net them now. Obviously they're at risk of pigeon attack when they're tiny like this, but funnily enough, when they get bigger, I don't know about the baby spinach, but the perpetual spinach, once it gets to, you know, quite big, a foot tall or so, the pigeons don't seem to touch it. I don't know why, because leafy green I would have thought they would, but I've always uncovered my spinach once it gets past the sort of small leaf stage, and it seems to be fine. But basically that should give me enough spinach to have plenty for myself and to give a good armful to the chickens every day as well. And also I'm going to chop it up and use it to feed my worm beds, the flow through and the outdoor bed. Chop it up and wilt it in a bucket and then feed that on top. So it's, you know, it's a really nutritious crop. I love the baby leaves in salad, and the bigger leaves we tend to sort of stir fry or steam it. But it's a really nutritious veg, so super easy to grow. I mean, really super easy to grow, and you can do a batch now in the spring, and you can do a batch in sort of later summer. To be honest, I do quite often leave my spring sowing right into the winter. They keep coming. You don't want to let them dry out, or they can bolt if they get too dry. But other than that, they tend to just keep going and will carry on right through and into the winter. I've still got a couple of plants that just about survived the freezing temperatures we had this year. It did get really cold and it killed some of them off. But it's a hardy plant as long as you look after it and keep it moist, but it doesn't want to be soggy. Just keep it moist and protect it from pigeons and slugs and things when it's this small, and it will reward you with just mountains and mountains of leaves. You almost can't pick it fast enough. It's a great veg, one of our favourites for sure. So we'll have a catch up in the summer, and I'll show you how it's come on. But for now, until then, take it easy guys, and we will see you next time.